Hello everybody, it is me, Darcy, joined as always by Kris,
Yes.
and welcome to this week's edition of the Unnamed Podcast, the podcast where we sit here for some time talking rubbish and pretty much anything else that comes to my mind.
Pretty standard.
Very standard.
Yes.
Kris, why don't we start like we always do with a little bit of channel news?
Yes, we shall. So, Monday we released a Satisfactory.
Yes, we did.
Yes, I'm glad I said that in the right order, because it was 50-50 shot.
Yes, it was. So the second part of
Our first recording.
Satisfactory came out.
That was our first recording, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So that's the continuation, because obviously the first time we played it, we had so much to get through that we ended up doing like 2 hours worth of recording.
Yeah, because there's not a lot you can do at the start.
No, it is very slow.
So
But
once
also-
it picks up a bit, we'll...
Yeah, but also Satisfactory is one of those games where you just you end up... Really, George? You just end up playing for hours on end. Like, I think when we were just playing it for fun...
We were doing at least like 4 hours at a time for the most part.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, we'd just be sitting there. And you don't even know how much... Like, you don't realise how much time's gone past.
No. The only reason we know now is because we're recording it. So we can actually see how long it's been.
Absolutely. So the second part of that come out. In that, we are just continuing our setup. I'm
There was a little bit of
science.
exploration in this one as well.
Well, there was exploration in the first one.
But it was... Both of us did some in this one.
Oh, well, you came for a walk.
It's a bit of exploration. Especially since we didn't both go the same way back and everything.
Well, we sort of did. But yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, though, if we did or didn't, because it's just my footage.
No, that is true.
And I will apologise right now. I am a little bit sick at the moment.
Yes.
So... bear with me through the coughing fits and the dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a lot of fun. Hopefully, you guys enjoy that one.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's something we want to keep putting out. That's for sure.
Yeah, but we have to do some more filming in that, definitely.
For sure.
It's in a similar branch to the stuff we've been doing with Minecraft, except more teamwork based.
Yeah. You know, that's true.
Like in the Minecraft, we kind of go off and do our own thing. In this one, our own things kind of...
They end up meshing together, because if I'm building everything or building up the infrastructure, basically, that's probably the wrong word. No? Yes?
No, it's
No, that's the right word.
You're correct.
Because I'm building that up, it helps you out in the end, because you're going to need this. So me building it so we can actually get it faster, we need to both be using it. So there will be certain points where we're working on the exact same thing to get it up and running, so we can move things around faster.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, come out here.
Oh, jeez.
George.
Oh.
Come on, bud.
I've got nothing on me. You've got to go.
No, they see the chicken. They want the chicken.
It's true.
Sit.
Come on.
None of that is sitting. Put this bum down. George, sit. I don't care how grumbly you are. Sit.
And yep, this one stands. This one's going to be a dogs wandering around now, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, they are. Come on. Oh. So upsetting.
Yes.
Yeah, so, unlike the Minecraft, Satisfactory is very much working together. Even if we're not technically working together at the time. Yeah. Everything each of us does advances the other person, whereas in the Minecraft, everything each of us does advances ourselves. And
or hinders the other person.
Disadvantages Kris.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Satisfactory came out, as I said. We haven't filmed any more of that yet, so there's still a bit to come. We have to actually get back into that, but
yes, we've been meaning to do it. We just keep not doing it.
Yes, well,
yeah.
That's the thing.
Yes. Outside of that, today, Wednesday.
Yep. On Wednesday.
Gears of War.
Yes, the second part of that came out. And that's just carrying on in the story.
Pretty much.
Lots of the story to go.
I think it was a little bit less death this time.
Oh, no. More death. Definitely more death.
You sure?
Yeah, I think we only did wipes twice in the last one. This one there's at least 3, maybe 4.
I meant less downs by me. I should say more downs. Because I think I got downed more often than the first one.
Okay, I'd have to go back and look at the statistics, considering that it's been so far and actually count it. But I will say in this one, your downs were way worse because you'd go down, and in the other one, it was you'd go down in a firefight, so I could just stay and kill everything. But in this one, you'd go down in a hallway, and then everything in that hallway would just push forwards towards me.
True.
And there's a few points where literally our AI teammates are literally getting in the way. When I say getting in the way, I mean I'm shooting down a hallway, and they're running into my bullets. And then getting downed, and then I'm like, oh shit, because then the enemy just comes running up.
Oh, so that's why they were getting down so often.
Oh no, they weren't getting down by my bullets. They were just stopping my bullets from hitting the enemy. So it'd be I'm shooting down a hallway, they're running down the hallway, absorbing all of my shots, then they're getting down, and then it's me versus 10 guys running down, and none of those guys are hurt because all of my bullets that I was firing down there weren't hitting them. And then it's oh shit. And then I just get swarmed and die.
I feel like with these types of games, I just get aggressive with it, so I push forward earlier than I should.
Problem is, and I know you've never played Gears of War, but Gears of War is maybe not the first, but the progenitor. The one that perfected the cover-based shooting. So if you've ever played any cover-based shooting...
Oh, I played... what the fuck was the other one? Yeah, you basically play as one of 2 people, and the whole point is working together.
Army of 2.
Army of 2, that's the one. I've played Army of 2, so I was forced into the cover-based shooting, everything like that. But since then, I haven't played any other cover-based stuff. It's stuff where I can be aggressive and still.
Army of 2 though isn't as much cover-based. It's more of an action movie-esque thing.
It is. It does require to use cover, but it also has the other feature of one of them taking the aggro so that the other person can move around a little bit more.
Yeah, no. But, if we were playing on easy or normal difficulty, which we could have, but that's not my style.
Yeah.
It would be a lot easier to kind of do... You wouldn't have any issues moving around. You could literally just wander through using cover sparingly. But because we're playing it on a more proper difficulty, it's unforgiving. If you make mistakes and stuff, you often do, where you're I wasn't paying attention to the person that was next to me. It's okay, well, you kind of got to be on top of.
Hey, look. In sometimes on the small screen, I'm looking at it, and it's it's one of the teammates. Oh shit, it's the enemy. Because size-wise,
they're all the same.
The same. And when you're looking at a distance with the color palette, it's is that an enemy?
No, you see, and then
or it's just that one of the other 2 being in a stupid spot again.
That does happen.
Yes.
But yeah, no. So that's coming out. That's the second episode. We're actually. Oi!
The fuck is
out from under there? Come on, you. Go back over there.
It's very random.
No, because he can still smell stuff. He's going, I'm going to find it, and he's not going to find it, because it's not for you.
Exactly.
But, yeah, no, so the first game actually has some of the hardest parts in it.
Okay, yep. It probably makes sense, to be honest.
The night, the part that we're moving into, Nightfall, is
fucking
just painful.
Well, it'll be interesting on the next episode of that one.
It will be.
Maybe I'll use a bit more of that cover. Probably won't.
Problem is, cover doesn't really help you in the Nightfall mission because the whole thing is you've got to stay in the light.
Oh.
Otherwise, you pretty much instantly die.
Oh, that's right. That's that stuff you mentioned while we were playing.
Yep, the krill.
Yes.
And they're a big part of the first game. The only thing in the second game, they add razor hail, which means if you're running through like this hail, you just get killed instantly, sliced to shreds.
Okay. Yep. That's something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be interesting when we get to that one.
Indeed.
I'm gonna forget about it. You're probably gonna mention it to me.
Yep.
Okay. We knew it wasn't gonna last.
No, see how they calm now.
True.
But yeah, no.
So yeah, so that
Playing through Gears of War is going to be a good one.
it will be,
And then we can.
and eventually we'll get to Halo.
I think
As
we'll
we
go
kept
Gears
saying
of War 1, then Halo, then go back into Gears of War 2.
Okay.
Because technically speaking, if we actually did just sit down and do like a long filming of Gears of War,
Christ.
we could knock out an entire game in about a day,
And then just split it up into
and then
just you need it.
cut the into the chapters.
Which is no
Because it's only a 3-act game, so we're in Act 2. I think there's 3 chapters per act.
Okay.
So it's not the world's longest game, but it did have a fucking killer multiplayer to go along with it.
Yeah, fair.
Gears of War 2 multiplayer, fucking brilliant. Gears of War 3 multiplayer, I sank so many hours into that. But you know, that was like when games were actually being good.
True.
Charlie.
We just need to get it back to that point, really.
Oh, you know, it was like... It was just a different era, you know, like, now... Every multiplayer you play is going to have the same game modes.
Yeah.
It's going to be, you know, like, it's got to have a fucking Fortnite mode.
Battle Royale. Woo. No. I really don't like Battle Royale in that case.
I'm not a big fan of Battle Royale, just in general, because it's kind of like, it can be fun to play occasionally, but the fact that every game now has a Battle Royale mode.
Yeah, it's a bit annoying that they all pretty much put it in now.
And it's got to. And they've got to have this mode and that mode and all the rest. And it's like, back in the day, you'd play Halo 3 and Gears of War. And it was completely different play styles, game styles. Yeah. But now it's like you can just skip between all of the games you're playing. And it's like, the only thing that's changing is the look.
Yeah, the aesthetic of it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is a bit annoying.
Yes.
I want a different game occasionally, which is why I like playing a lot of these solo games sometimes, is because it's at least got a different story.
Yeah,
It might have the same overarching end and everything like that, but everything in between is somewhat different, or the way they go about it's different.
Yeah.
So it makes it seem like a new type of thing.
But yeah, but that's kind of one of the big things. The games felt different, whereas now everything's kind of starting to feel the same.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
We've done a next recording of Minecraft.
Yes, the next Minecraft is being recorded.
That was a bit of fun, bit of exploration there.
Yeah. So that's been done, so that's got to be edited. Probably won't come out for another 2 or so weeks.
Yeah,
I'm looking at putting another Subnautica on the books. There's also the Red Dead Redemption stuff. There's also... Stop shuffling, you. There's also... something else I was going to say that I now have forgotten. Oh yeah, I've also still got to finish Spyro 2.
Yes.
I'm looking at doing a Sims thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much because of the new three gaming videos plus the podcast a week method that we've been working on.
Yeah. Go and do a bit more.
Well, it's not even that. I'm like trying to put in things that are like just short videos for that Friday. Yeah. Like they don't have to be. I know I've been putting out the solo Minecraft views, which are quite long, but that's because they're supplementaries as it is. But
yeah, I'm looking at what I want to sort of get into to do those short videos. Like at the moment, I'm heavily into God of War Ragnarok, so it's not really a short video type thing. So,
but yeah,
outside,
and yeah, other than that, you know, like I said, the other one I'm looking at is starting up kind of a Sims thing, where it's like building houses in the Sims and just fucking around in that game for a bit, which would also be a short form thing. But you know, that's kind of where I'm sitting with that and being like, okay, so if we can do that, then we can just keep this kind of 3-day cycle going. And like the Minecrafts make it really easy because it's like one Minecraft is 3 videos.
That's true, yeah.
1 main video and 2 Friday videos. So it's like as long as we can keep that, you know, it's not that difficult to do.
You can even do that sort of thing with the raft as well.
I could, but as I said, the Minecrafts are a little bit more entertaining than the rafts because in the raft we are, like in the Minecrafts we're primarily apart.
True.
In the raft we're primarily together. It's 90% together, 10% apart, pretty much.
Yeah, which is whereas Minecraft, it's the reverse. We were sort of together when we've got to square up. Hence those zombies.
We're really only together when, one, we need to do something where we're fighting a lot of people, or 2, we've caught the other one doing something.
Yes.
And we're both kind of just standing there staring at each other. But
it's a dangerous game, I swear.
But like otherwise, he's just curled up on my lap.
I don't notice.
You could go to the couch. No. But yeah, other than that, you know, like, and that's kind of, so it's like the raft would show a lot of the same stuff, whereas in the Minecraft you're getting, like I said, when I do the actual release, I try and edit out anything I try and put the best parts in, but there's always going to be like, we're always doing stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, oh yeah, well I was doing this, which is the better thing to see. Kris was actually doing something interesting, or, you know.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a pain, especially when we both do something interesting.
I think from that first one, my view got a lot of looks.
Yeah.
Can't really explain why, but my thought process is maybe people were interested to see, because you know, I snap to myself when I'm doing stuff or when I'm not doing stuff, like, you know, depending on what's going on. As I say, I tend to use myself as the main footage because I know what's happened in mine, so I can be like, oh, I know for the next 10 minutes I'm just standing in the dark mining.
Yeah, so you can swap it over to have a look at what I'm doing in that point. Yeah.
But no, one of the funniest things was, like, I think people were watching mine and just seeing the kind of things where it's like, I go from being on top of things and doing stuff, and then I just kind of stop and go like, destructive time.
Yes.
And you'll be interested to know that in this most recent video, Kris actually did find out what I did to his house in the last video.
Yeah, I did. I have forgotten what he did, but I did find it.
Exactly. But yeah.
And then he tricked me at one other point.
To do what?
You said you did something else to the house, and I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I just searched the whole house.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
We'll have to see. I also like the fact that when we were digging, when you were destroying the front of your house, that there were like cobblestones there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, you found what I've done. And you're like, wait, what? And you start looking in those cobblestones. I hadn't done anything at that point.
I wasn't actually looking in the cobblestones. I just sort of just left them.
But yeah.
I'm just waiting for something else to happen in the hopes that it does. Can't tell you. You'll find out when you do the recordings. It actually makes the whole setup worse.
Oh yeah. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. See, it's one of those things. If the outcome doesn't happen when the video or when we're actually recording it, it makes it very difficult because there's no way to get around that. Because you're going to see it, and if you do remember it, it's an immediate, you can go fix it.
Oh yeah, and I am definitely the person of the two of us that will remember shit.
Exactly. So that is the biggest problem.
But it's like...
Especially with one of the things that I did.
Yeah, in our most modern Minecraft, which as I said, probably won't come out, maybe not next week, but the week after.
Yeah.
But there's some fun stuff. I finally pulled through on one of my threats I've been threatening Kris with for a while. And that backfires fantastically.
Was it the axe murder?
No. So look forward to that.
Okay, I can't remember.
But, yeah, so more Satisfactory to come, more Raft to come. We still have to finish that game. And it does have a finishing point. It may not seem it, but it does.
Just gotta figure out where I've already been, that's it.
Yeah, kind of. More Red Dead Redemption stuff. Red Dead Redemption is just kind of hard to film, I feel.
Can be.
Oh, it's just, you know.
Unless you've got, like...
I think it would be
go
easier
down
to
that
stream.
track. Yeah.
Because then you can do stuff what people are asking you to do. Whereas this, I'm kind of like, I'm doing this, and me being me, I get distracted super quickly.
I'm aware.
So I think in the next one to come out, there's literally a point where I find something and then just spend like 10 minutes walking around looking at the area and being like, this is just crazy.
Okay. I'm not surprised, to be honest.
No.
It's...
But
you are right. It would be, like, Red Dead's probably the better one in the sense of streaming and then just grabbing some of the funny points and then using them as shorts or something like that, because it would work so much better, I reckon.
Yeah. Plus, it's such a large game, and it's like, do you only do the story missions, or do you do all of it? And so I'm like,
it's a tough one.
It's daunting. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And with your decision making, sure.
Mate, I'd been in that game for about 10 minutes and spent all of my money.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Slightest.
Another interesting one would be Grand Theft Auto 5 though.
As in the story for it?
Well, the thing is, it mainly is just the story. Like, if you actually think about Grand Theft Auto 5, everything just kind of presses that story along, and there's not a whole lot to do.
I mean, some of the side missions don't press it along so much, but...
Oh, yeah, fair enough. But, like, I was going to say, like, unlike Red Dead Redemption, well, probably the reason that I thought of it was, like, I was thinking Red Dead Redemption is just so fucking massive. Like, you want to explore that world. Grand Theft Auto, there's no reason to explore that world.
There's not much.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
It's dead. And I don't care if you're a big Grand Theft Auto fan. I love Grand Theft Auto 5, but it's a dead world.
Oh, it is. 100. There's a few things that you can go and see in single player that... I mean, yeah. It's like, hey, there's an alien there. It's like right at the start.
Yeah.
In the snow at the very beginning of the game. As long as you go to the right spot, there's an alien in the ice. Yeah. Okay. But other than that, just follow the story.
Yeah. Whereas, like, you know, Red Dead Redemption has, like, all of the strangers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot more to it.
So, yeah. I
think Elden Ring would probably be a tough one as well.
Again,
because as much as going through, you can go through the main story and just stick with that, but it can be a huge pain just doing the main story. Yeah. Because you'll find very quickly that it's like, oh shit, I need to actually go off and do things. So you've got to play longer and then sort of just cut things out because all you're doing is farming souls. Yeah. So it can be a bit of a pain there, but other than that, it's...
But again, that's just editing work.
Yeah.
Well, other than all of that, you know, like, in terms of channel-wise, we're now up to 98 subscribers as of our last check.
Yes,
So
another week of a big jump. So
we've almost
really good.
Hit the
100 mark.
100 mark,
Yeah.
which is 10%. 10% of being fully certified.
Yeah. Getting there.
Yeah,
It's going at a decent rate as well.
it is. You know, like
Considering it's only been a bit over a year.
yeah, we're almost at 2 years.
Yeah,
September.
3 months off. Yeah.
In September, we'll be
it's
at
almost
2
2
full years. End of September.
I haven't really noticed it being 2 years.
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
Yeah.
But again, like I noticed it a lot more because I'm constantly checking out the channel and doing stuff with it, and it's like we have something like 300 odd videos because of how often we post.
True, and it's about to increase quite a bit.
Well, you know, like there was a
Going
comment
to
the
that
other day,
actually,
so I was like, oh, this channel has a lot of videos and I hope that they get more views. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. But I'm like, one of the reasons we have a lot of videos is because we often do the like Halloween and Christmas stuff where it's like we'll put out
a video a day.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, or like we'll do stuff where we like put up our video output for a small amount of time.
Yeah.
But, you know, then we also just have the fact that on average, we're putting out 3 videos a week. So, you know, in a month, you've put out, what?
12 videos.
Yeah.
Depending on the month.
And I don't know if that number also includes all the shorts and stuff. But
yeah, I don't know.
But anyway.
No, technically it does show up, like, especially when you look on your phone, it shows up on 2 different things. Videos and shorts are separate in that. But I don't know what it shows in the analytics.
Anyway, so we are up, and we're feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that kind of wraps up channel news. I don't think there's a whole lot more to say about any of that stuff.
No, I think we're pretty good on that one.
Again, we apologise for the dog wrangling, but they are
menaces at times.
They're just sooky. Like this one here, he's a big sook. He's been pretty much. Well, he sleeps on my bed. Yes, we're talking about you. If I'm on the couch, he has to lie on the armrest next to me. And other than that, I want to go outside now, so he gets up and smacks on the door, and I'm like, it's 6 in the fucking morning. Yeah. And he's like, I don't care, I want to be outside. And it's like, mate, let me tell you, I took them outside last night.
Yeah.
At 1 in the morning, it was fucking freezing, and they're just out there wandering around. Obviously, because they get to wear nice woolen coats. Little wool dogs. But I'm standing there and I'm like, in my pajamas with a fucking blanket wrapped around me, being like, I'm fucking freezing, hurry the fuck up. And they're just like, oh look, bit of grass. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like,
I don't recall seeing this blade of grass before. It's new.
Well, I maintain that Charlie has to go outside. Charlie's this one, by the way.
Yeah. Just
to check that outside is still there. Because he'll go, bang, 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 I've got to get outside. You open the door, he'll walk out, look around and go, yep, I'm coming back inside now. You're like, what the fuck?
No, I'm aware. He's done it to me as well. Literally just been upstairs. Everyone's standing up there and it's like, nope, because he wants to go out. Okay. Why?
And George, because he's a big old man, he cares about sleep and food, and that's about it.
That's right. We were talking about you.
But yeah, no. Well, anyway, last week we talked about Xbox. They had their showcase.
Yeah.
I believe PlayStation had their showcase as well, but I'm not really interested.
I didn't even actually hear about it. I didn't see anything. I saw the Summer Games Fest, and I did briefly see something on the Xbox because I do recall something popping up about it because someone was talking about it. I don't recall seeing anything on the PlayStation 1. So as much as they may have done it, I didn't see it.
Yeah, take this one for a second. I will take you back now. Oh, Yu Suzuki. But yeah, so I guess PlayStation had theirs. I should probably have a look. Just
I can never remember what they call it. It's just searching up PlayStation. There, it's like there's been a lot.
I think it's like a play. Well, there's Xbox Showcase, Nintendo Direct.
Yeah,
Could be like PlayStation Select or something.
could be.
Anyway, I don't know what theirs is called, and I don't actually often remember looking at it. Like I don't think I've ever really looked at it.
I think last year we looked at it a little bit because there was a few more big things that they were talking about. So
I think they didn't do it last year and actually just put a lot more of their stuff into the main showcase.
Oh yeah, that might have been it then. Yeah. Unless they did that this year as well.
No, I'm pretty sure there was only 1 or 2 PlayStation things when I watched it.
Okay.
But anyway, so I've watched the Summer Game Fest like I promised I would.
I forgot. Well, not really. I was going to watch it today, but I crashed. But there was...
What?
I don't think he even knows what.
I've got to fix him. He's slipping. I think that's what. Yeah, let me cross my legs. There you go. Is that better? Yes, apparently it is. So I watched that, and as I said, I'd give you my 3 ones that I'm actually kind of looking forward to. One of them is called Neva, though it is spelled like Neva.
Okay.
And it's made by the people that made the game Kris, if you recall that. But it looks, it's like a side scroller kind of thing. It looks phenomenal. You play as a lady and her wolf. And
okay.
Yeah, it looks super, super good.
Is that on that list?
So that's my first pick that I'm like, okay, yeah, looking forward for that. My next one is one that I was like, I'm not really going to talk about, but honestly, there wasn't a great deal that I was super excited about looking at it, like when I went through it all. It's obviously Space Marine 2.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to that game because I played Space Marine 1 a couple years ago now. Like, literally years after it came out, but a couple years ago now, and I love the shit out of that game. And this one promises to be better with multiplayer and everything, so I look forward to that.
I hope so.
And then the other one, it's kind of like it's kind of a split. A lot of the stuff in there was like sequels or not sequels, sorry, DLCs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there was a few things we were looking at going like, why is this on the list? It doesn't make any sense. Like that game's been out for a year and a half now.
Yeah.
But a lot of that was they were just announcing DLC. I will say, just in terms of people who did like a really good job, fucking Remedy, Alan Wake 2 stuff.
Oh yeah.
They like literally were like, oh yeah, so there's going to be some DLC for Alan Wake 2, and that's coming out tomorrow. Yeah, so you can play that tomorrow. No wait. Which I feel is something where like a lot of these game industry things like Summer Game Fest and the Xbox stuff have learnt over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Because everything that I saw was either coming out early next year or later this year. And I was like, oh, I think they're finally starting to learn we don't want to see something that's slated for 4 years' time. No. Because everything you show us is just going to be a waste of our time.
Isn't it? It just drops off the radar. It's like what they did with Biomutant. They released their cinematic trailer and everyone watched it. It was like, oh, this actually could be good. And then we never saw anything on it again. And then all of a sudden I walked into EB Games and it's like, oh shit, it's coming out in like 2 months. I've heard nothing more on this game. What happened? And I haven't played a lot of it, but I did play a little bit, and I did end up having some fun with it. Just like the one-liners that they were putting in the game just had me laughing here and there. So I was like, oh, this is pretty good, even if it's not a great game in gameplay side of things. It's definitely got me hooked on on the voice.
But yeah, like that was kind of like one of the big takeaways. So yeah, the third one that I'm kind of like excited about is they didn't really announce. They announced a whole bunch of games under a new game studio. So Blumhouse Game Studios. Do you know anything about Blumhouse? Horror movie maker. So he's the guy that made like the Five Nights at Freddy movie, and he's made a few other movies like that.
Yeah.
And he makes horror movies. Well, he's doing a game studio. Hold up. He wants to go out. He can't go out. Charlie, you can't go out, Bob. Yeah, so that was probably one of my favorite takeaways, honestly, because like announcing a game's pretty cool, but announcing a whole studio,
that's actually good.
From the looks of it, like they have a lot of games in the works because they were just showing short things. Now, the other thing that I really liked about it is that they're not, or at least at the moment, they're not, we're making one game. What they seem to be is a studio that's about finding indie games, like horror indie games, and putting out a bunch of horror indie games.
Okay, yep.
And probably the one that stood out the most to me was, I can't remember its name because, as I said, it was a short snippet, but it looked like a Stardew Valley horror game.
Okay.
So during the day, you're like farming and talking to villagers, and at night time, it's like fucking monsters and stuff, and you're walking around the woods and just finding like dead bodies and shit. But that was pretty cool.
Sounds pretty good.
The other one was, we were actually talking about it last week. I wouldn't say it was a standout for me because I've seen a little bit more of it now, and I'm like, oh, okay. But it's cool, something like Zero Blade or Blade Zero. It was that one we were talking about that we saw last year. We're like, you're a white-haired kind of ninja who's going to die in like 40 days.
Okay.
That's a PlayStation game, so
yeah.
But yeah, I saw a bit more on that. I went, okay, that's pretty good. But yeah, so my big takeaways were literally a small developer.
Yeah.
A Warhammer game, and the announcement of a studio that's going to make a lot more small development games.
She's good. Because they're the ones I've been more likely to play, at least in multiplayer.
Yep. So we'll talk about the ones that I know you said you were excited for, and I'll tell you what I saw on them. So, Black Wukong Mystic, or Black Mystic Wukong, whatever it's called.
Black Mystic Wukong?
Whatever it is, that's coming out very soon. There wasn't a whole great deal about it. Probably the thing that they showed more than almost anything, it was like a short cinematic, was like all the different pre-order packs you could get for it.
Tough.
Which I think is always a good idea.
Yeah, oh yeah. God damn it. Okay, yeah.
So there was that one. Sparking Zero.
We know what that's going to be. There's not really much to it.
Yeah, except if you order it, you get 6 characters early.
I think I already knew about that. I'm pretty sure they announced that a while back.
Oh yeah. There's nothing wrong with that because I read that and went, oh, thank God. It's not 6 unique characters, it's 6 characters early. And I'm fine with that.
Which I'm pretty sure when it comes to the Dragon Ball games, they tend to go down that track.
Yeah. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, I'm happy with having DLC character packs and all that kind of shit. That's fine, whatever. Unless they do it like Fighter Z, where it's like they brought in a character pack that was just broken.
Yeah.
And everyone ended up having to use that character.
Well, that sounds right, yeah.
Because that was Android 21, right? Was that Fighter Z?
It's Fighter Z, but Android 21 should have been part of the main game, I'm pretty sure. Because it was all based around it.
No, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was that. Then... And you know what? It doesn't look half bad if you're into fighting games. Like, it looks like it's fully 3D. It's going to have a full story campaign type thing.
Yeah, as said, one of the things about it, which I think I mentioned to you last week, was it's looking like it's going to be one of the Tenkaichi games again. They're not giving it the Tenkaichi name, but
I think they said it's from like the makers of Budokai,
which would make sense as to why it's going down that track.
But then there was also a few other weird things, like I can't remember all of it, but like one of them was like literally Goku going Super Saiyan when someone turns into their monkey. So there might be like some like what if scenarios as well going on.
There's always what ifs in every Tenkaichi. There's a what if.
Yeah.
And no, what ifs tend to be the movies.
Yep.
Or at least the non-canon movies.
Yep. And then there was also like showcase of someone playing as a great ape.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
don't think I've added too much of playing as the great ape into the games before. I think they
just
did
destruction, mate.
That's pretty much all it ever is, because that's the whole point about the great ape, is just to destroy the place.
And then what else happened? I
don't remember what the other one I said might have been.
Well, I can tell you that I was right about the Batman game.
Yeah.
So, do you want to go back to Arkham?
Fair enough.
Do you want to go back to Arkham on the Meta 3?
On the what?
It's a VR only game.
Oh, fuck, okay.
So, yeah, the new Arkham game, Arkham Shadows, is VR only.
What was the name of the one we couldn't read in that photo? The Japanese one.
Could have been Slitterhead?
That looks like it's... Yeah. That looks like that's what it could say.
Yeah. That actually looks kind of interesting.
Okay.
It's kind of like a Parasite, you know, the anime Parasite.
Okay, yeah.
From what I saw on that, it's like
Seems
people turning into like giant weird kind of monstrosity things.
Okay, yep.
So like people just turn into these things, and then you can literally jump between like different bodies. Like you jump between bodies as well, and then you can like make stuff out of like one of the things was like a guy got his arm cut off, and then he just kind of reattached it. So it's like whatever you're also like an infectious thing.
Yeah,
trying to kill them.
It
looked interesting if you're into that kind of stuff.
It's worth looking at the very least. Don't know if I'll buy it straight away, but definitely once it comes out, I might look at a few videos.
Yeah. As I said, there was some interesting stuff there. There was a lot of stuff that I'm like, okay, yeah, that should be good. That should be good. But yeah, my big takeaways, like the ones that I was like super excited for, were
How'd the Quidditch look?
Super cartoony, but that's kind of looking at it. I was like, okay, yeah, because I kind of had an idea of how it should, like, what it might be like.
Yeah,
but well, yeah. The more I see on it, the more I'm just like questioning that game because I'm like, what? Because I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work.
Well, it's going to depend on who makes it because let's face it, the broom flying in a lot of the games they've put out has been okay, but not great. In Hogwarts Legacy, it wasn't too bad. Like I don't have an issue with it. It's just it took me a while to get used to because it goes against the normal conventions.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. That's the least of my worries with this game because it's the whole premise of the game.
I suppose. Yeah.
So basically, if that's bad, then everything else in the game is going to be bad. My biggest problem actually stems from the fact that so I play a lot of sports games. Like,
true.
If you don't know this about me, I hate soccer, but I'll play FIFA. I play baseball games, NFL games, rugby games.
Yeah.
I've even played AFL games, NHL games, tennis games. Played them all.
Golf?
You know it.
Yep.
So I've played a lot of sports games. And the big takeaway is, especially on like a team game, the way that you play those games is all about controlling the player who has the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
It does.
That's not how Quidditch works.
No, it's not, because they've all got different roles.
They've all got different roles and they're all paying attention to different things, so I have no idea how you're going to manage that unless
you sort of, like, pick what you're going to play as for the most part, and then you can change it.
But, like, you would think that, like... And this is where my problem stems from. Okay, so you're playing as the chasers. So what they're called? The ones who throw the red ball around. Because they're your main players, right?
Yeah.
They're the ones that score you the points to do stuff. Okay, you're playing as them. Then what happens if you need to deflect a bludger? Do you then go into a mini game? Like, I just don't see how it's going to work.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is something they're planning on doing, but, like, let's say you then go, okay, now let's play against each other. How does that work? Because if you've got like mini games to do things, how does that work? Or are you just having to swap to different players constantly, which also isn't going to be the most natural thing?
Going to be an odd one.
That's what I said. It's going to be odd. I don't mean to be so pessimistic on it. It's just that as someone who's played a lot of sports games, I started thinking about this as a sports game, and I went,
Yeah, because any game
I can't think of it as a Harry Potter game.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Because any time we've played Quidditch in a game, you're playing as the Seeker.
You're playing as Harry.
Yeah.
Because you're playing a Harry Potter game.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said, this is actually an interesting kind of thing. I'd be interested to see how they go about it, but it does bring up some questions in my mind, at least, where I'm going, how is that going to work?
I don't know. I really don't know.
And I just can't figure.
As I said, the only way I can think about it is if you get to just pick what you actually want to play as at the time.
That could be a very boring game.
Oh, very much so. There's not much.
You play Seeker.
I don't think the game's going to be
cruising around.
I'm pretty sure the game itself is just going to be play it here and there, a couple of matches, put the game down because you're bored. I don't think you're going to get much out of it. Yeah.
That's another one I play. No, but like that's my thing. I'm just kind of like.
Actually, I'm surprised you didn't say that one.
Yeah, I know, right? Considering how much I'd play that one.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking yeah.
Full-length quarters, my friend. Full-length quarters.
Oh,
that's the only one I do.
Yeah, I know.
But no, yeah, I'm just kind of sitting there like I don't know how it will go. Like honestly, I just can't. I'm interested to see it, but right now I'm struggling to kind of fathom how it's going to work because it's just so.
Yeah. But we'll have to look at that closer to when it's coming out, because I'm sure there'll be more on it.
Yes,
as it gets closer.
Another one that kind of, as it's come closer to, coming out is that the Goddess's Way game seems to be more of a like real-time strategy game than not a real-time strategy. Sorry, like a squad command game.
Okay.
Than just a hack and slash fighter, like I thought it was going to be. But again,
fair enough.
These are all things that are neither here nor there in the reality of what's going on.
Yeah,
it's just interesting to see them as they get more and more out.
Because
Metaphor. Do you remember that one? That's the one that's made by the people who make the Persona games.
Vaguely.
Well, apparently, it's got like well, I don't say apparently because that's what they showed off. It's got a kind of like a job system, and that's how you do your fighting. So unlike the Persona games where it's like everyone has a persona that they use, this you can like actually level up. So it's kind of more like Fire Emblem where it's like you become a role and then level it up and then you can get new ones and stuff.
Okay. Could be interesting.
That one is one I'll keep my eyes on. I'm not super excited about it just because I haven't played enough of the Personas. Like I love Persona 5.
Yeah.
But I've never played any of the others. And so
Yeah.
I think I would love them, but it's just kind of like, is this going to be just another kind of Persona type game?
Probably. It would make sense.
And if that's the case, will I enjoy it more than I enjoy Persona 5? Because like one of the big things about Persona 5 is they're all about like the interpersonal connections and the honestly, I'm at the point now when I play Persona 5, I fly through the dungeons and stuff. I'm just like,
yeah, true.
Because I just have like super powerful personas. So for me, it's like the actual fun of the game is like running around and doing the real world stuff, and like trying to boost like power level all of my connections and everything.
Yeah, fair.
Alright. But, I'm keen to see what it's like. It's just, as I said, like the fighting part of those Persona games isn't what I like the most about the games.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So, yeah.
I think it's where I'm going with a lot of games now. It's not really the fighting. As much as I do like those games, it's not the fighting that I look at. It's I do at times enjoy the fighting, but sometimes it just gets a bit tedious. So it's everything else that you can do that keeps it somewhat interesting.
Why is it that you think I play so many different varieties of games? Because I'm
because at times
highly ADHD.
I'm aware. Same reason why I don't play the same type of game repetitively, and the reason why I start games, stop games, drop them, and be like, oh shit, I never finished that. Just get back to it. Yeah.
But that's like one of the reasons why, like, literally I play a game for like a week and then I might not play it again for 6 months.
Yeah.
Why I never got caught up in the Dark Souls, Bloodborne.
Oh yeah,
I'm at craziness is because I was not someone who can sit there and be like, no, just play this game for the next 6 months so you can master it. It's like, no, I get bored. I'm going to get bored. No, but it's not a boring game because you're constantly fighting, and it's like, no. What you've just said has bored me.
No, so I never I myself never played it for 6 months straight. I would only play it for a week or two straight, and that's it.
But because I talk about this all the time. Games that I love, The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
I will play for a week, then I will put down. Then I'll come back and have to restart it because I'm at a point where I need to remember how to play the game properly.
Yeah.
But I've left it for so long that I've forgotten. So I need to relearn all of the stuff that you've got to do to.
And then
properly...
you get to roughly the same point, and it's like, and I'm bored.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so just
it's like it's not because it's a boring game. It's just because I've been playing that game.
Oh no, I get it. I 100%.
And that's why I couldn't do the Dark Souls games and stuff because people are like, oh, you just got to learn the boss's patterns. I'm like, that sounds boring.
Yeah,
I'm like, you're asking me to.
A lot of the times, it only takes one to two fails for you to figure out the patterns, and then it's just implementing it on the third. So it's not like you're playing it for 2 weeks straight to learn 3 different bosses. It's like you can learn most of them in a night.
Oh no, but you're also like the other problem I always have with video games, and I have this problem with The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, is power creep.
Yeah, true.
As I get better and better and better, the enemies are getting better and better and better. Yeah. So even if I go back to like a really early area, I don't walk in there and just be like, hold up, I'm going to destroy you now. And I like that in video games because that makes progression actually feel
that's what Dark Souls does. So Dark Souls does that. It's like if you go back to the starting area, everything's a fucking cinch. The only reason it's going to get harder is because you generally have an item that you can burn at the bonfire or whatever it happens to be in that version of the game, which respawns all the enemies. Because what also happens in Dark Souls is if you are stuck in an area for long enough, enemies start to despawn and they just don't come back.
Okay.
Because it's a thing of like, you're clearly stuck. Let's give you a slight boost that you don't have to fight this group. Because let's say you've killed this particular enemy 12 times in a row. It was like, okay, well, we'll get rid of that one, because clearly that's a piece of piss. You need the help back here. We're not getting rid of that enemy until you've killed them a certain amount of times, though. But you can bring them back by burning something.
Right.
But it does two things. One, yes, it brings all the enemies back.
Yep.
However, it also brings that area to
your level.
New Game Plus.
Oh, okay.
And you could still be on the first playthrough, but have one area at New Game Plus 12. Because you just kept burning it at that area to get a few more souls, because it's an easier area.
Right.
So, yeah.
No, like, okay, that's actually a really good system, I think, because, like, yeah. But, like, yeah, one of the things I really hate about video games is when they don't reward you for the time you've put in.
Yeah.
Like, I really hate it when you go into a video game and it's like you go back to the starting area and it's like everything is now leveled to your level and you're like,
no.
What? It's
ridiculous. It's like you mentioned with Breath of the Wild, it was a thing of, because weapon durability is so bad, you're like, oh, I'll go back to the starting area to pick up some weapons so I can get some more. And it's like, oh no, I can't kill these guys either.
Black bokoblins, silver bokoblins, gold bokoblins.
I was like, this is the starting area. We shouldn't, like, there should be an area where you can easily go to it and be like, shit, I need to regain some weapons. But no, it's like, you've got to beat the harder enemies still. So,
yeah.
Fucking thanks, guys.
And I really dislike that in video games, because I'm like, the whole point of a video game is you level up as you invest, and that's why I really like MMO type games.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't ever played WoW, but I have played Star Wars: The Old Republic, and like, I remember one day I was playing with some mates, and they were having trouble in doing one of the things. When I say having trouble, it was taking them too long. I wasn't okay with that. Because obviously, like, the start of any MMO, you've got to go through like 2 whole parts of the story before you get to start free exploring.
Yeah.
In Star Wars: The Old Republic, so you don't get your spaceship where you can go anywhere you want until you've gone through the starting realm and then Coruscant.
Yeah.
And so it was taking them. Jesus, you're so loud.
I knew that was going to happen. I forgot to take it down earlier.
Bloody hell. But yeah, so it was taking, it was just taking us too long to get through it. And because we had, like, a few of us, we wanted to kind of get to the fun, go around, exploring kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what I did was I just jumped onto one of my characters that wasn't, because like the way I always play these with people is, if I'm playing with a group of people, I start a new character,
and that's fair.
And it's like, so we all have characters around the same level.
Yeah.
But because I had no issue with just playing this character to get to the point where they are at, but they were like, oh, we need to get to this point, and I was like, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. And so I went and jumped onto my level 30 guy. This was back when the top level was level 50, so he was almost top level. Then went back to their starting world where they were all starting, and then just came in and was like, okay, we're just gonna wipe out everything. So I could speed them through to the actual fun part of the game.
Yeah.
And then once they were there, they came back and helped my character get to that point as well.
Yeah.
But, I just really dislike it when a game's like, no, doesn't matter how strong you get, the enemies will always be at your level. And it's like, then what's the point of getting strong?
There isn't. Yeah, it's basically what they're doing is they're just trying to keep the whole game at the same difficulty level.
But it's not, because I always have this point when people go oh no, but it keeps the whole game challenging. It's like, no, because I can't as level 1 go to the end boss, because I need all those levels to fight him.
Are you talking about Breath of the Wild here?
No.
I was going to say, because you can't.
No. I'm talking about other games in general.
Yeah.
But it's you need the levels to go to these harder sections, because if you go there without the levels, you'll literally get one hit killed.
Yes.
And it's but So I need to level up to fight those bosses. These areas are cut off to me because of my low level. But then when the low level sections start to rise with me, it's like, why the fuck do you have level locked areas in the first place? If you're going to bring their levels up with me, why the fuck isn't it just go wherever the fuck you feel like it? Whenever the fuck you feel like it.
Yeah, and just leave everything at the same difficulty.
Why even give me levels?
Yeah, it shouldn't have any character progression in that aspect. Like, have character progression in the sense of story-based character progression. But outside of that, yeah, don't add levels and don't... Like, yeah, you could probably add an ability in because you defeated this particular person. It's like, hey, you've got this ability now. But don't add anything else.
No. Look, I don't agree with it. Like, level scaling is one of the I think it's one of the worst things that exists in video games. Because it's like, you don't need it. You don't... No. And like, it for a lot of stuff, it doesn't make sense. Like... Yeah. Like, you think about it in, like, play a game with level scaling. It's like, now you're level 100. You go back to the starting area where you were, like, fighting fucking birds. And they're at level 100. It's like, oh, shit. The people of the village should be all fucking dead by now because these birds that just fucking sit around are as strong as a fucking god-slaying fucking hero. Yeah.
Let's face it, when playing games, you're getting pissed off in the higher level areas because it's like knocking you back so many times. It feels good to go back to a lower area and just wipe everything out because you realise like, no, that area's just really fucking hard. I'm getting better because now this is a cinch. Obviously you're dealing more damage, but you realise it's like you're not screwing up as much, you're not taking as many of those hits. It's just that higher level. It's more full on that it's causing you to basically fuck up a little bit more.
But I also like that. Like, one of my favourite things is literally just going back to a starting area and letting every mob there just hit me and hit me and hit me and hit me and hit me. And it's like, ha 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 ha.
You're not doing anything.
I literally passively heal faster than you can do damage to me.
Oh yeah, they are good ones.
It's like, oh no. It's like, yes, that's right. Remember when I was but a wee child? And, you know, it's kind of like
the kind
thing
of
where
thing
it's
that
like...
was shown in what I consider the only good section of Sword Art Online. Where Kirito's just standing on the bridge, letting a group of people attack him.
Wail on him.
Yeah, wail on him. Doing nothing, and someone eventually realizes, like, oh, it's because he's healing shit, we can't do anything.
No, but like, you know, like, and then going back to the starting town where you're like just a fucking starting adventurer, and the fucking kids are like, hey, we remember you. You were the shit guy, and you're like, yeah, now just. I'm sorry, was that your house? Fuck you.
Oh.
We're gonna tell someone on you. Yeah, go tell whoever you want, because I can wipe you all out in a second. Fuck you.
That's exactly what
Aren't you the hero? It's more of a title, less of a way to live.
Yes. Yeah, that is 100% how that goes.
I'm not strict about it.
I'm not strict about it. Look, I saved the world. But I ain't saving this town. This town is screwed.
You know what? Then there are other games as well. With like, so there's a game I play called Mountain Blade.
Yeah.
In that game, you level really slowly. Like, it's something that happens really slowly. And the enemies, depending on their rank, have a set level.
Yeah.
And you come across multiple enemies of lower ranks, because, like, it's medieval warfare, right?
Yeah.
And you play as pretty much a mercenary. And so you'll run into, like, a bunch of bandits. And they're bandit level. And when you begin, that's fucking hard, because you don't have shit. You're low level.
Well, yeah.
But even as you level up, it can still be hard, because it's more based on the stuff you have, not your level. So it's like, once you're actually rich and you've got the best armor and good weapons and everything, going and fighting bandits is easy. But then there are, like, armies and stuff. Like, led by, like, actual soldiers and stuff, and they have actual soldiers, and so those fights are always going to be more difficult. But that's kind of the point of the game.
Well, yeah.
And it's like, that's fine for me, because the point of the game is, it's not... You're not leveling to become stronger, you're, like, leveling so that you can use different weapons. It's like, you're you know...
You're mastering weapon arts. Yeah.
It's like, if you don't use this, if you don't have good, like, I can't remember what they call it, there's a skill, but it's like, if you don't have a high level in that skill, you can't use a high level bow, because you're just not strong enough.
Yeah, which makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah.
I wish we could see more games doing it, because that's a good
but my point is, that I'm fine with, because it's like, that's where the equipment is actually what makes the player.
Yeah.
But then you've got other games where it's like, oh no, you level up, and it's like, oh, the equipment's just secondary. It's really secondary.
Yeah. Your
levels are what's making you super strong. And then, yeah, as I said, when everything stays with you, you don't feel super strong.
Yeah.
And it makes you question,
Dark Souls is technically a combination of both. You can then be a super high level, but with a lower weapon, you're still not maxing out as much damage as you can put out. Yeah. So there's definitely, like, as I said, games that, like, as I said, Dark Souls, they work on both. Your equipment does make you stronger, but so does your levels. So there's definitely advantages to all of it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like kind of like, well, as you can see, one of the games I've been playing recently, I have a real issue with that game, though.
Yeah.
Like, the game we're looking at is one called Warhammer 40k Gladius. It is... It's a Warhammer kind of civilization game.
Okay, fair enough. Makes sense.
Which annoys the fuck out of me because of one reason.
Yeah. You
play as Space Marines, right? If you know anything about 40k, Space Marines kick fucking ass.
Okay, yep.
Like, they are scary motherfuckers.
It makes sense. I mean, looking at what they're wearing, that's something to come against.
And their guns shoot, like, exploding, armor-penetrating rounds.
I mean, look at the barrel of it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And they're, like, something like 7 foot tall or whatever.
Fuck, okay.
But in this game, you come across, like, just roving groups of, like, enemies. And they'll be, like, cultists. So they're just normal people with, like, normal crappy weapons.
Yeah.
And they will put out almost as much damage to my Space Marines as my Space Marines putting to them. And I'm like, that's just not fucking right.
No, a Space Marine walking into a group of cultists should just wipe them out.
And it's like, you know, like, they try and, like, play it off with the models. Where it's like, if you play as the Imperial Guard or the Astra Militaris, whichever one you want to call them, they're just the humans. If you make an infantry unit, you have, like, a bunch of little model guys in it.
Yeah.
Whereas if I make a Space Marine unit, I have, like, 4.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the equivalent fighting strength, but it's like, that's not. It's more like 1 Space Marine for every, like, 1,000 of these Imperial Guardsmen. But, but anyway, my point is that it's like, I hate it when a game breaks the law of the thing it's in to try, like, I get it, it's all about gameplay, but it's like,
true.
I'm a much bigger fan of, like, if you're building something based on lore, like, if it's something like 40k, and this is why I'm really looking forward to Space Marines too, because, like, trust me, when we play it, and we will play it, we are going to be like 2 Space Marines, right?
Yeah.
Wading through, like, hordes of Tyranids, just, like, fucking their shit up.
Fuck yeah.
And there's going to be big ones, and they're going to be hard to kill.
Yeah.
But 90% of the time, we're just going to be like, oh, boom, 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 boom. And, like, little motherfuckers are going to be dying. And then we'll be, like, walking along, and you'll see humans like, being like overrun by them, and you're just like, boom, fucking see how easy that is, because that's kind of like the whole thing about Space Marines.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so like in a game like that, it's like, oh, but for gameplay, it's like, for gameplay, then just make my units so much more expensive, so they can't have as many of them.
Yeah,
Or,
that would actually make
you
a
know,
lot of
like
sense.
it takes longer to get them, but it's like literally they need like 4 armies to try and take on my one army, because my one army is just better.
Yeah, it would make a lot more sense. Because it's like a cultist with basic weapons, they're not getting through that armor in the first place. They might be able to aim for some of the joints, but they're not getting through that.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway. Yes, but I do like the game, don't get me wrong, I enjoy playing it. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, you're ruining these people in my mind.
Yeah.
Because they should not be having this much trouble.
Yeah, look, don't have lore if you're going to fucking get rid of it immediately. Or lore behind the things, anyway.
Well, that's like kind of what sucks the most about it, because in the tabletop game, and I've never played it, but I have a friend who used to like have... He played orcs.
Yeah. And
he was like, oh yeah, I can like put out like 6 times... Oh, he played orcs and Tyranids, sorry.
Yeah.
And he went, when I'm playing Tyranids, he's like, I can like put out 6 times the number of units a Space Marine has. Because you have a point limit, and each army has how much. Like, so a Space Marine, I can't remember what their points are, but like, let's say a Space Marine is worth like 5 points.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing a 500 point game. You can put out 100 Space Marines, but you're not going to put out 100 Space Marines, because then you might put out a specialized unit. Maybe you put out a vehicle, and it's like, that's more points. But it's like, his little Tyranid's like his basic Tyranid unit, and the Space Marine is the basic Space Marine unit.
Yeah.
His basic Tyranid unit might be worth 1 point. So he can put out 5 for every one you put out.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like, if you're a guardsman, it's like, they might be like worth half a point. So you can put out so much more of them.
Yeah.
And that way, it actually feels like your army is fucking stronger.
True, yeah.
Because like...
Because when you go army...
And then they also have like, when you are actually doing the attacks, they all have fucking so much stats that you have to go through.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh yeah, we attack you with this, and then it's like they do their attack rolls, and you're like, okay, so you did this much damage, but then I have damage neglect, and so you do no damage. It's like, ah.
Oh.
But yeah, so it's like, that's kind of the thing, and I'm like, I love that about that, because it's like, it's a tabletop game that literally has the rules in it that are like, no, not everyone is equal in this world.
Unlike, there's a lot of games that are everyone's equal. Which is why I like Legacy, not Legacy, Risk Legacy, because they're not equal. It actually separates them a bit more.
Oh, no, they are not equal.
No.
And they're
especially
not
if you
even
win
close.
like 3 times in a row.
Oh, you should just wait. Just wait. Just wait until some of the weird stuff starts happening.
Oh yeah, no, I'm waiting for it.
Because as I said, I've actually finished Risk Legacy with another group of people when I didn't own it.
Yeah.
But I have to see if I can find all the Risk Legacy stuff. We probably have to restart.
More than likely.
But I wouldn't mind restarting, like just like pulling it out one day and being like, so this is how we do, and then
probably
playing with
pull
more
it out
people.
with Caleb.
Anyway, but as I think I've got to make a new slip cover for it as well.
Because you lost it.
I have no idea where either of them went. I thought
Either of them? There was 2?
Yeah, because I also own Legacy Pandemic.
Oh yeah.
I thought I had put them both in there with the games, but no, I just can't find them.
I thought you were leaving them in the box.
That's where I'm pretty sure they were as well. And now I can't find them. I'm like, did someone see them at some point and go rubbish?
Maybe.
It was just folded plastic. I don't know.
Possible.
But yeah, no, like, that game can become incredibly unfair, incredibly quick.
Oh, I'm aware.
And
I'm aware. The advantages after winning twice is like, It's not horrible, but shit.
I had one advantage where if a certain player was playing, I got 3 extra nuclear weapons.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
Though.
But it was
Because people wanted to play as that people, and they'd play it, and I'm like, cool. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just taking my extra. And they're like, why you get extra? I'm like, because I'm the baddest motherfucker that's ever existed.
Fair.
And that is true. I was the baddest because in the other game, you know how there's 2 extra armies that you haven't seen yet?
Yeah. Because we know how I tend to play these games.
I brought both of those armies into the game.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And they're very specific ways to bring them in.
Fuck. Oh, okay, Jesus.
Like, literally, one, super destructive. The other one was like when everyone's sitting there being like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You're about to win this game. Because it's like, put 30 soldiers in on one turn. I was just like, and they're like, how? I was like, I'm the best.
Jesus Christ.
And they're like, well, we're going to open this box. And they opened the box and went, fuck. And I went, ha. Something else happened that pretty much screwed over the one person that was kind of hard to kill.
Yeah.
Because he had built up a massive defense. And I pretty much got away to just walk right behind his defenses without him being able to do anything.
That's ridiculous. That's horrid.
Yeah, I'm a monster.
I'm aware.
Damn. Awesome. Well, we've been going for long enough, and my throat is killing me.
Yeah,
I'm dying. So we're gonna call it a day. If you've liked the video, consider liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing. If you have any favorites from any of the games stuff that's happened this summer, even though it's not summer here, it's winter. That's why we're all sick. Put that in the comments as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Almost at 100.
Ooh. Let's get there by next week.
It would be very nice.
It would be.
But yeah, that kind of wraps us up today. As always, I've been Darcy. He's been Kris.
Yep.
The 2 doggos were Charlie and George, but they're outside now. They're not happy about it, but they are.
Yes.
They only wanted to go outside for about 5 minutes. Yeah, we'll catch you next time. See you later, guys.
See ya.